Retro Spirit, next generation performance. That's the first words you read of the brochure of the new Suzuki GSX-8TT. What that basically means is we're paying homage to all the Suzuki models in the styling, but running it off Suzuki's latest technology. But we're more interested in the spirit part. Did Suzuki nail it with so many manufacturers trying to do the same? Or is this just an average bike with some old school styling? The Suzuki GSX-8TT is finally on South African roads. It's a mid-range 800cc motorcycle that wants to make you look cool when you stop in front of the coffee shop with its styling, have fun on the way to the coffee shop, and be your trusted steed to the office and back. So if you like rolling up to coffee shops and cutting through traffic, this video is for you. In the front, we've got 17-inch cast aluminium rims. We've got 310mm dual discs with 4-piston Nissan calipers. In the rear, we also have a 17-inch cast aluminium tubeless rim. It has got a single 240mm disc with a single piston caliper, also from Nissan. ABS comes standard. You can't switch it off. This engine is currently being used in 5 of Suzuki's models. It's on the TT, which is the retro classic sport bike. Then we've got the T, which is the naked version. Then we've got the R, which is the sport bike version. Then we've got the S, which is a modern naked, and then we've got the V-Strom 800DE that also uses this engine, and I can really see why it's being used in all of those models. It creates power right across the rev range. It revs out at almost 10,000 RPMs. We've got 83 horsepower, which is 61 kilowatt, and 78 newton meters of torque. But what that translates to the road, you can't comprehend those figures with what you're feeling underneath you. The engine is coupled with a 6-speed gearbox with a bi-directional quick shifter that is like a cheat code on any drag race, a steel frame. On the suspension front, we have got a 41mm KYB inverted forks, and in the back we also have a KYB shock that is link assisted, giving us 130mm of travel in the front and the back. The seat height on this bike is 810mm. The seat is very comfortable, no problem in doing long ends. The ball reach is not very far. You're in a nice and upright position, so that the wind that you do get, you're in a position to combat that and not feel like it's pressing you back. So I must say the position is good there. Your knee bend is about there. Right, for me, I felt it was very comfortable in that position. I think if you're a taller rider, you might start feeling a little bit of cramp, that it's a little bit cramped, but overall it's a good fit for me. The bike comes in at 203 kilograms, which is nice and manageable.
As you guys can see, they've made space for a pillion on this motorcycle, and we definitely had to go and test this. So we took a ride in our neighborhood and I really enjoyed the experience. So from the get-go, it was very easy for me to get onto this bike. I am 173 centimeters, and without any effort, I could just throw over my leg, get onto the seat, feet on the pegs, and we went. So the seat is very, very comfortable, no complaints over there. And then just from a pillion's point of view, even though this is a very, very comfortable ride in the neighborhood and within the city range, I will not necessarily choose this bike for long trips, let's say from Pretoria to Cape Town. I think it will get a little bit challenging for the longer ride because 1, there's no back support, 2, there's no handles at the side. However, I would not necessarily see that as a downside of this bike. This bike simply just invites you to get in a little bit more cuddles with your rider because on the pull away and as they accelerate, you really need to hold on to the rider just to support yourself.
When you turn the key, the familiar Suzuki badge appears on your 5-inch display. The display is the usual Suzuki display that you find on the S and the DE models. On the left hand side, your toggle switch, if you press on mode, you're gonna go into the traction control, and there you can adjust it between off, traction control 1, 2 and 3, depending on how severe you want the traction control to interfere or not. Then you can also change the driving modes or the riding modes between A, B and C. A being your most lively riding mode, giving you sharp throttle response. B is a little bit more smoothed out. And then we have C that is more suited for rainy or wet conditions where it doesn't give you all the power at once. The display is very clear and it gives you all the information you need and nothing more.
Suzuki is paying homage to their T500 model and their road races of the 1970s and 80s with this bike. You can see that in the styling of the cowl, as well as the shape of the tank. The cowl at the bottom cowl also gives additional styling, which these two you don't get on the T models. Then it's in a full shadow green is the one option you can get it in, and the other one is gloss sparkle black. Then the overall build quality of this bike is exceptional. There's been no corners cut, and it really does feel like a premium bike. It doesn't stand back to any BMW. And all of that is going to cost you 189,000 Rand. The T model is going to be 179, and if you look at the rest of the GSX-8 range, I would pay a little bit extra to have this one. Right, before we do the on-road review, a quick shout out to our video sponsor.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the on-road review of the GSX-8TT. I must have waited a while for this to land in South Africa. We got a sneak peek in the flesh. Look at it at the hobby show in December of last year. I think Suzuki invited us, all the media, to basically see and so on. But this is one of the first, when this goes out, hopefully one of the first reviews in South Africa of the GSX-8TT. Alright, as usually we start with the comfort. They nailed it with the seat. The seat is very comfortable. I've been on it for a few hours now, and on a pop, and I haven't gotten uncomfortable at all. I must say, it's together with the suspension, it is working a charm. Very comfortable. It cradles your bottom just in the perfect way. Then if we go over to the handling side of things, it loves to get in the corner and to lean over. I personally think this would be a treat on track. So Suzuki is in South Africa. They started a racing series for the GSX-8Rs, which is basically almost the same bike except it's a sport version. So it's running off the same engine, but a lot of its handling characteristics, oh, there was a little tongue twister, is coming through on this. It's really good. I really enjoy putting it in the corners. But just back to the comfort, not just the seat, but the
The suspension on this is eating up the bumps splendidly. Yeah, it's a real comfortable bike. I feel I can live with this bike. I feel I can be on it every day. I can be in the traffic for hours. I feel this bike is so, it's a complete package. It's a looker. Yep. There hasn't been a person I stopped next to that didn't check out this bike. The styling they got spot on. The engine, we've put this next to the R90 Scrambler and basically tested, you know, acceleration. And with this quick shifter, combined with the power it's putting out, this is beating the R90 in that regards. There's just power all the way. If you go, currently we are at 3,500 RPMs, 80 kilometers to 120 in fifth gear, and we're there. If you're going to drop that down to fourth, it's in the power band. Let's say we go down to 80 again, and we're at 120. So and in third it's even faster, but there's power around the whole way, all the way in the rev range, from down to up, and there's opportunity to pass here. And put it in third. We're at 6,000 RPMs. Just wait for the car to pass us. Indicator on. Go. Beautiful. Quick shifter. Open. 9,500 RPM. It just goes. This rock, it does not feel like a middleweight bike. I don't see why you need more power than this. You're going to enjoy being on a coffee run or a big bottle. It's so nippy, just popping out of the way. And anyway, taking this to the coffee shop, you will enjoy every second on your way to and back, just with how it delivers its power, especially if you're riding in the A riding mode. So that is the most, let's say, most aggressive riding mode. You can feel the throttle sharpen up, and everything is just on another level compared to the B and the C. B isn't bad. All right, we're coming to a stop. Braking power, and beautiful. The brakes is also splendid on this motorcycle. You don't feel it fade. There's really enough stopping power with those 310 millimeter. It gives you enough confidence, you know, to squeeze, and it gives you the feedback that you know, listen, I can go more in certain situations and so on. But again, the riding modes, the C is basically for comfort. I would say you're going to use that more in, let's say, rainy situations and that type of thing. B is the smoother one, and then A is just like, it gives you everything as soon as you want it. So fuel economy is obviously also going to vary then in each riding mode, but the joy that the A riding mode gives me at this point in time is just too much fun. Then the cockpit is really, it's a beautiful place. I must say, the wiring that is here, they tucked it away beautifully.
The switches and everything here, nothing feels cheap. Everything feels well placed and well built. In the traffic, this bike is splendid in the traffic. It's so nimble, and it feels like it's quite narrow when you get on it, and compared to another retro, let's say retro old school type looking bike like the BMW R90 that we have over there, it's 20 k's lighter, and it does translate in its handling. It does translate into how nimble it is through traffic. You feel you're quite a small linear line, making lane filtering so easy, like so. Obviously always do it responsibly, do it within the laws of your country or state, but it does make it very easy to get through traffic. Like I said, this outsprinted exactly that R90 that has a 1200 boxer engine, which has got more kilowatt and has got more torque. Although it's 20 k's heavier, it really does outsprint it. On the top end, you can then they feel well matched, and then maybe the R90 will be a little bit faster. But from this to 100, from 0 to 100, this takes the R90 every time. This quick shifter is bi-directional, so up and down. And yeah, when we tested it, it really is a cheat code. When you're having a little fun. Right, so three things I really like about this bike. Firstly is the styling. I think it's a very nice looking bike. They've got that on point. Secondly is the power delivery, especially in the riding mode. It just gives power right through the band, and we've outsprinted stuff that have a lot more power and juice. So yeah, I must say the engine is and the way it delivers its power is definitely a number 2. And number 3 is I would say is the comfort, as well as how the suspension is tying it in. I don't feel like over the bumps or anywhere else that it's too hard. If you're going to compare this to some other retros that we have ridden, where the suspension is quite firm, this is not soft, but it's a good middle ground. Cons on this bike, for me, one is that there's no factory heated grips. For the cold winter mornings, I would like heated grips from the factory. So you're going to have to install third party, so far as I know, if you want heated grips. But I would have liked to see, it at least being an option on the options catalog, which I don't see at this point in time. But it's not a deal breaker. The other thing, which is also not a deal breaker, is the turn signals can switch off a little bit faster. But other than that, I really have no issue, and there's no deal breakers for me. And in conclusion, I think this is a very, very good product if you're looking at something that you want to commute with every day. It surely will be a very trusty steed, and you will enjoy you get a dose of adrenaline on the way to the office and back. So start your day off with a let's say a good feeling, and finish it off with something nice. And like I said, even for weekend rides, you can have a heap of fun on it. It's really a really enjoyable bike to ride. It's really got the spirit part they did get on the retro spirit, and I think the overall product is a real good one. I do think
I am willing to pay the extra money for the TT. The T is coming in at let's say 10,000 rand less, but I would still pick this over the R and over the S. This is just, for me personally, this is just a more visually appealing bike, as well as being able to deliver on all the nice aspects that the, let's say, the R and the S also does. So, and for the price difference in South Africa, it's not that much. I will personally go for this one for the difference, and that's just me. So yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching, and we appreciate all the support. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
At Propulsio Brokerworks, we don't just offer financial advice, we protect what matters and help your money grow. From short-term insurance that keeps your assets safe to business cover that protects your livelihood, we've got you covered. Add expert investment and retirement planning, and you get one trusted partner for every single stage of life and business. Propulsio Brokerworks, financial clarity, real protection, real results. Visit propulsio.co.za or call us today.